Hey, welcome to Connection Point. This is your host, Todd Bartley, and today I'm so excited to have with us Pastor Jason Great and his wife, Holly Great, who you recognize from being on stage, one of our great vocalists here at Centerpoint. So I'm so excited to have both of you guys here with me today. It's been a long time coming, and we haven't gotten together in a little while.
Right.
So it's going to be fun just to
Looking
have a
forward to it.
conversation with you and get to know you a little bit better. So one of the first things I'd like to start off with is just like, tell us about your origin story. Like where'd you grow up? So Holly, I'll start with you.
Okay. Well, I spent most of my life in like the West Michigan area. So I grew up in Grand Rapids until I was in junior high. And then we made a tiny like hop, skip, and a jump over to another little town. And I went there for junior high and high school.
What little town was that? Because I
town of
I know West
Allendale.
Michigan very well.
So where Grand Valley State is, which when we moved there when I was in 7th grade, I think the town had like maybe 1,000 people, and now it has like as many as Venice, like maybe 55, 60,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's not
like the college there has,
and the college is there.
So I mean it's.
Yes.
It's just a booming area. So
it is huge.
Growing up in Grand Rapids, what did you do as a young girl in Grand Rapids?
I mean, kind of your typical like Michigan things, right? Like we're always outside. My dad was a builder, so we were always going to his job site and seeing, what house he was building. We were out on somebody's boat on the lake or on the river. I mean, we did a lot of skiing and tubing.
All those fun Michigan things.
Yeah, really.
Like summertime is great. Wintertime was fun.
Kind of.
Yeah, but it's good to be here
That's
now.
why I live here.
Yeah.
So I was not a huge fan of cold and snow, even when I was a kid. Like, I remember we had I think we had a sledding party for my 2nd grade birthday, and all the girls were like super excited to go sledding. And I went down the hill like one time and got a face full of snow, and I was like, okay, let's go inside. I'm done.
Yeah, it's all done.
But yeah, just kind of lots of camping, traveling.
So when did you know that you had a beautiful voice for singing?
Gosh, that's a good question. I don't know. I never have thought about that. I mean, truthfully, I came from a really musical family. My grandma was she was the organist. My dad was the song leader. My mom played the piano. So when I was in I had to have been maybe in kindergarten, because they brought this big remember when they would build those big wooden stands that a kid could stand up so your little face could come over the podium?
Mm. Oh, yeah.
And I sang this song with my sister, and my mom played the piano. My dad's in the front row, trying to help us. And I mean, I was probably 5.
Yeah. So you grew up in the church then, singing in the church, and
all
so it's
things.
just kind of been
Singing, playing, and truthfully, it's what I loved to do. So I'm glad I'm somewhat decent at it, or my parents would have been like, you're going to need to find a new hobby. But I loved it. Yeah. So all piano lessons, voice lessons, all until at the end of college, really. Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of my growing up years, just singing, playing the piano, making lots of noise in our house.
Yeah.
Yeah, a funny story about her singing is we had been here about, 6 months or so, and we had just finished service, and I was standing down front talking to some folks, and this woman came up to me, and she was just in tears, and she was just sobbing, and she was like, I got to tell you, your wife, when she sings, she was just, crying. She's like, she should be on American Idol. She's so amazing. And I was like, I know. She's such a great singer. And then she patted me on the shoulder, and she was like, and you have a lot of enthusiasm. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's a compliment.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Thank you.
Not sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
I think you have a wonderful voice, babe. I don't know what she's talking about.
Fine.
So Jason, where did you what was your origin story? Where did you grow up?
I
know
grew
you're
up
from Ohio.
Yep.
We know that.
I was born in Mansfield, Ohio.
Where is that near?
That is close to Marion, Ohio, about an hour northish of Columbus.
Okay. All right.
And I grew up in Marion, Ohio. A great mom and dad, 2 amazing sisters. And yeah, loved it. Loved growing up there.
Yeah, I was watching, as part of this, like getting ready for this, I went back, you probably won't believe this, but I went back and I watched every single one of your sermons that's out.
Oh,
What? Are
Online.
you serious? Wow.
And so I knew like the Marion, Ohio. I just didn't look up where Marion, Ohio was.
yeah.
So, but anyways, what made me laugh or what made me chuckle, I was just watching this one today, is you were talking about being in the church and asking your mom for like a stick of gum, and she wouldn't give you, but then you would reach into her purse and like steal, and like go across the street and buy candy from your uncle's store. I'm like, how cool is that? Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
She
so
Word.
you grew up in the church as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, my earliest memories are in a church, and my dad was the worship leader, song leader is what they
Just
called
like
it
my
back
dad.
then.
Yeah.
And the volunteer youth pastor. So we were at the church every Sunday, twice a day, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and on Wednesdays, and then
Same.
every time there was a youth program or whatever, we'd be there for rehearsals through the week. And I mean, it was
Yeah.
a full-time job, and it was the priority for us. On Wednesday nights, if I had a baseball game, I'd have to leave the game early
Yeah.
Oh,
because
okay.
we had to be at church.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it was very much a part of my life growing up, and I met Jesus at 5-6 years old because of a VBS sermon that I heard, and it was real. I understood my need for a savior, you know, and yeah, it's always been a huge part of my life for sure.
Yeah. So what did you do then? I mean, I knew that church was a big part of your life, but outside of the church, what did young Jason like? What was your
geez.
like dreams or your aspirations? Or I know you were a soccer player, so I wanted to go there because we want to talk about like
Yeah.
high school
Yeah,
and
yeah,
how you get
yeah.
to and what you do at college. But
All sports, I mean, every sport you can think of, I wanted to be a part of, and it was kind of a natural thing. It came natural to me. Playing sports was kind of naturally athletic, and so
As was I. Just kidding.
so yeah, it was. I loved sports, and a big reason that I love sports is I just wasn't good at school.
yeah, I can relate with that.
Yeah, and so I didn't do well in school with my grades, and so like sports was kind of my identity, and then kind of all throughout that childhood, music was a very central part of my family's life too.
Okay.
Everybody sang, everybody played instruments, and so I was singing while I was playing sports as well, you know, so it was kind of strange because, you know, most of the time you have one or the other, and I just wanted to do both of those. So I was in the
Cool.
choir and in the show choir.
Back during the choreography days.
Yeah. It was a blast. It was a riot. And, you know, so I did all of that stuff, and it was a full-time job for my parents for
Oh
sure.
my gosh, I bet.
Yeah.
Wow.
What were your aspirations when you were the young Jason before college? Like, what did you think you wanted to do in life?
Man, that is a really real. I think when I got to
Oh,
Indiana,
I remember what your major was. Yes, I do. 'Cause
All
I
right,
thought it was
let's hear
so cute.
I went to Indiana Wesleyan to become a kindergarten teacher.
it. Okay.
He was an L.Ed major his first semester.
Yeah, elementary education.
Oh, I think you're very like from the outside looking in, I think you're great with kids.
Yeah.
You really are.
I understand that. Like,
And I was just like, oh, he's going to be an elementary school teacher. That's so amazing. Well, I mean, that didn't last very long.
No, it
I don't
didn't
remember.
last
You
very
took
long.
one class, right? And was it, oh, shoot, I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was, but I knew right away that I wasn't going to be able to make the grades for that.
Yeah.
It was just way too involved for where I was with my maturity level. But I don't know. I like growing up. My dad's a builder. He owned a construction company, and so I grew up building with him. I enjoyed that. I thought a lot about being like a professional soccer player, even if it was minor.
Right.
You know,
to
just
whatever. Yeah. To just
yeah.
Sports.
to play soccer. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got to college and realized that is a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Because you realize right away that like everyone's better than you,
Oh,
and
some of these guys are good.
really
Yeah.
good.
Right.
You
Yeah,
did.
Even
you
at a
went to
little
college,
school.
and you did go to college and play soccer.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, I think it was. I mean, we'll rewind a little bit to kind of talk about how we met and stuff. But
Yeah.
it was a couple of years into college that it was obvious that I was being pulled by the Holy Spirit into ministry of some sort.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just weren't sure at
Yeah.
that time what it was.
Yeah, it was a rocky road to
Yeah.
get there for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Holly, what led a girl from Grand Rapids down to Indiana Wesleyan?
Yeah,
I've always
well,
wondered that.
I mean, it was a pretty normal way, I think, to show up there, just because I grew up Wesleyan, just like Jason. We both grew up in the
Okay.
same denomination, and we both grew up going to church camp. And every year, the school would send a group, whether it was camp counselors, a singing group, whatever, to recruit kids. And I mean, from the time I was, well, I guess maybe that's not totally true, but I mean, like late high school, I really wanted to be in a group where I could travel and sing. Like thought that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Okay. So
And
you knew pretty
so-
early. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at a lot of other schools, but none of them had really exactly what I was looking for. So, and I knew so many people at Indiana Wesleyan, so it was comfortable. Like, so many kids from my school went, my church, kids that I went to camp with. I ended up rooming with my best friend from church camp. So, I had a built-in best friend at college right away, which
So it's
was
just a natural
wonderful.
progression of.
Very much so.
It was
how you grew
like
up.
going to church camp.
I
It
wondered,
really was.
I wondered that just because you're a Dutch girl from Grand
I
Rapids.
know, right?
And then you went
Why
to
didn't I go
Indiana
to Kelvin
Wesleyan.
College or
Right. Why
Hope
didn't
or
you go to
something?
Hope?
Right.
Yeah. So I've always wondered that.
Yeah.
But
I
it
didn't-
makes sense now that you grew up
Wesleyan, that's where you
and
go.
We got a bunch of Wesleyans here. I grew up in the Methodist church.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, it was.
we had potlucks all the time, Jason.
Oh. See?
All right, see?
Yeah. I
It is
think
a
that's
lost art. It's a
wanna bring it
lost
back
art.
so bad.
I'm bringing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both of you guys, you end up at Indiana Wesleyan. No coincidence that God
Definitely
directs
not.
you both there.
Nope, not a coincidence.
On totally separate paths. So tell us about how. Let's circle back and let's talk about how you guys met.
Who's going to tell this story?
We both can. It's a wild story.
We need to
Yeah.
make it
It
we need
really
to
is.
shorten
Yeah,
the version.
for orientation, I was there for 2 days for soccer, so I had to be there early for soccer, and then she came for orientation. So the school year hadn't even started yet.
Okay.
And at lunchtime, me and a buddy of mine went to Burger King for lunch, and I was standing in line, and there was this beautiful blonde girl standing in front of me in line with her best friend, who was also beautiful.
I was gonna say, which blonde are you talking
they're
about?
Both beautiful.
And blonde. Yeah.
And so I started talking to Holly, and I said, "Are you here for Indiana Wesleyan? Are you going to Indiana Wesleyan?" And she was like, "How did you know that?" And I was like, "Because you have your name tag on that said."
Okay,
you know,
Dead giveaway.
Yeah.
And so I asked her if she wanted to have lunch with me, and she said yes. And so we had lunch with them, and I walked out and thought, like, what a snob.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we didn't. I mean, when
what
we first
a
met,
snob.
we sat and had lunch, and my best friend Amanda and I walked out, and I literally looked around, in my like 18-year-old immaturity, I was like, if every guy at Indiana Wesleyan is like that guy, I'll never get married, ever.
No, I didn't know this.
Oh yeah,
'cause
like, it was
he was
not.
like so like, well, I came here on a soccer scholarship, and I basically did the same thing. I was like, well, I came here to sing. Like, oh my word. Like, why? I mean, we're barely 18 years old. Like, we're like little kids.
Yeah,
But
and I'm guilty. Like, ugh.
yeah, we were just immature.
Yeah, we all have the beauty of
Oh, yeah.
hindsight. You
Right.
look back on yourself
Right,
and you
right.
think,
Yeah, you don't like to. I don't like to look back at 18-year-old me.
No,
Oh.
right?
And
Like,
think like,
painful.
yeah, and we
Yeah.
really thought we were hot snot.
yeah.
So,
But we ended up like kind of developing the same friend group.
well, we were in
When we got there.
we were in those gen ed classes, and we had like 3 of the same classes, remember?
Yeah.
We'd
Okay.
walk into a class, and I'm like, oh my
There's
gosh,
that
this
guy
guy is here
again. Yeah.
again.
Yeah, so we just started hanging out a little bit, and it just kind of slowly morphed into dating,
No, that's not totally true.
sort of dating. Like,
It slowly morphed for Jason. Let's be real. Like,
it's true.
it is true. We actually talked about it today, this morning, remember?
Yes,
You didn't remember?
I didn't.
He was like, I mean, guys are way more immature than girls when they're developing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was definitely like farther along the maturity scale, not by much, but enough. And
She wanted to get married, right?
Well,
freshman
okay,
year. Let's
so
do it. Let's just get married.
that's not, well, okay. So what happened is
What's the true story, Alex?
I saw him walking across a parking lot or something. I don't know what it was. And he was totally like decked out in all his soccer gear, had his big like soccer bag and everything. And he was just like strutting across the parking lot. And he reached his hand and like stuck his hand through all his like sweaty hair. And I was walking with my best friend. And I literally like stuck my elbow. I was like, do you see that? And she was like, oh my gosh. And she's like, well, we need to decide. If you don't like him, I'll take him.
Right. Like,
And it's-
What?
I mean, so, well, thank God. I mean, if you got that, would not have worked. And so,
God knew.
God
knew
is
what he-
smart. God is smart.
Right.
So, I mean, really, I just kind of like started telling him that I wanted to hang out with him.
Okay.
We went on a couple like dates like with other people. And I mean, it really was not long. Like, I probably called my mom maybe a month or 2 into school and, had the phone call. Oh my gosh, Mom, I met the man I'm going to marry. And my mom was like, okay, sure you did,
Right, yeah.
I mean, and truthfully, the road from there to us getting married was very long and somewhat dramatic. So at points, I'm sure she was like, no, you're not going to marry this guy. But I really was, I mean, it didn't take me long. I was pretty convinced. He was not so much.
Really?
No.
In
Okay.
fact, it was like the whole first year. I was just like, I didn't know if I wanted to be, shackled. If that's
I
the
mean,
right
just say
word.
it. Just say the truth.
I
Yeah,
want to know if you want to be tied down.
yeah. I
Really?
just, yeah. I so
To a
like,
girlfriend.
yeah. So, but we just kind of, in a weird sort of way, we just always kind of kept coming back together. Like it just kind of always kept working like that. But then before Easter break, my freshman year, I told her that I kind of wanted to just go our separate ways, so to speak. And so she went home for Easter. And when I got back from Easter break, my roommate said,
Or
hey,
your sweet mate.
yeah, my sweet mate. He said, hey, I was up in Grand Rapids for Easter break and I saw Holly and she was holding hands with one of your friends from the soccer team.
Oh,
And
how'd that?
that did not go over well.
Yeah, it didn't make you. Yeah. Okay.
He didn't want to be shackled, but he wanted me to,
Yeah.
Right.
So I immediately went over to her dorm and professed my love to her. So, I mean,
Well, that's one of the things though that happens is like you think you want to do something and then, or like you want to make a decision to do something and then you say it in your head, like I'm going to do this, and it's you either get that right feeling or you get like I can't, like that's the
that's
wrong
not,
feeling.
Right.
So
yeah.
that kind of forced your hand a little bit,
100%.
so to speak.
Yeah, and I think too,
And then you were like, hey, I'd really like
Let's
this
do
girl.
this.
Yeah, we only dated for another month and a half, and then we broke up. Like we really broke up.
Yeah.
And that sent me and her both into kind of a dark season. It really, really was. It was really hard. It was really because we knew that we loved each other, but we also knew that we weren't where we needed to be with the Lord.
Yeah. And we were traveling for the school and
Yeah, and
traveling
so-
other places.
Yeah,
like
so
the
you're
whole time.
you're playing soccer. You're on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, are you on the singing group at this time or?
By the time we broke up that summer, he had auditioned and was singing with
Okay.
Yeah.
with a
So you
summer
were-
with a summer
yeah,
group.
we
Okay.
both were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we were both in two totally different groups.
Oh, you were in your separate groups. Okay.
Yep.
And you go from like mid-May until mid-August, and you go to like
Yeah,
All over the
basically
country.
the
12
whole
different.
summer.
Yeah.
It's the whole summer. So, we're not going to see each other, and we really were just we
immature.
were very immature. But it was that weird thing where I was like, well, what do we do? Do we stay together? Do we break up? Like we were 19, you know, and we just were not in a place to.
Commit to anything.
Yeah,
It
no.
was just.
So it was like,
Yeah.
okay, the next step is we just need a break.
And so we did. And my sophomore year, she dated an amazing dude.
My sophomore
Genuinely.
and junior year.
Yeah.
Is this the guy that I know through
Yes.
like where I grew up?
Yes.
He was from this guy
Yeah,
was from
from your
my
town.
hometown.
Yeah.
He's
Yes,
younger
correct.
than me. He's several years younger than me.
Yes.
Yes.
So
But,
he
okay.
was in choir with us, and so I dated him my sophomore and junior year.
Yeah.
And by the end of our sophomore year, he was just so frustrated with it that he literally moved to Oklahoma. He was like,
Yeah. I transferred.
Transferred
don't wanna-
school? Okay.
Yeah, I transferred to Bartlesville, Oklahoma. At the time, the name of the college was Bartlesville Westland College,
Okay.
and it's now Oklahoma Westland. And that was the best decision I ever made. I played soccer out there. They didn't have any singing groups, and so there was no distractions. I mean, there was nothing to
we
do.
didn't know anybody either, really.
Yeah, there's nothing to do except study. And I took all of my hardest theology courses while I was out there and grew. I grew,
Yeah.
you know? And so at the end of my junior year, my music professor from Indiana Westland called me and said, hey, will you come back? I'll give you a scholarship.
If you lead a team.
If you lead a team, you can come back
Okay.
and I'll put you back in choir and all of that stuff. And at that point, like I kind of felt like we were, you know, going to be
It would be
okay.
fine.
She was with somebody else, you know, I was able to breathe again.
and we're
and
a lot older at this point.
The
so.
moment we saw each other when I got back to Indiana Westland, it's just not.
It was like a really, really scary realization. It's one of those
Yeah.
things where you're like, oh,
No, no.
No.
no. Like the blaring thing. So I had to do the hard thing.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's a oh no, but it's a like
This is
I have feeling like I can't
Oh,
deny
yeah.
like at
I
this
mean-
point
This
I
is
can't deny
undeniable.
this.
Yes.
you
Right.
could have been some rando person in the room and gone, oh, what's happening here? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they broke up in early October, so after about 4 weeks of school. And Holly and I got back together at the end of October, and we were engaged to be married on her
On my
birthday,
birthday in December.
in December. Like it was that fast.
But it didn't.
Married less than a year later.
Yeah, and then we got married in the next August.
Yeah.
So, but really, it was just one of those things where I don't know. Like
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
When you know, you know.
Okay. I mean, really, that really is what it is. Like,
So I
it was unavoidable.
This is one of those cool things. I just remembered a story, and I think this is probably a good spot to put this in because it just seems so like it's just so random, but it just popped into my head. There's a picture, isn't there? Am I getting this right? There's a
You
picture.
are. Yes.
What?
There's a picture of you somewhere with your family, and there's a picture of you in the back.
Oh,
you're in the
that's it.
No,
background.
that's at
And so that like just hold this connection and
Yes.
like it's obvious. And
Yes.
so like
That was Grand
that was
Rapids.
Grand
88,
Rapids '88 was a Wesleyan Youth Convention in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
of which I only went to for 24 hours because I had pneumonia. So this random picture was taken in like the one service I went to through the whole
Okay.
convention.
And so I went with my youth group up from Ohio to this convention, and her youth pastor took a picture of her and her friends, and it must have been 15 years later. Well, it was
yeah,
2000.
because this is when you were younger. Like
Yeah.
this camp was like
yeah, I was in 7th grade. Like,
yeah,
I was
Crazy.
a little
crazy.
kid.
Yeah.
Like my first year in youth group.
So the picture, she's kind of sitting there like smiling with her friends, and I'm in the background like hunched over, kind of like photo bombing.
yeah.
Like he's like right
Before
behind
there was
my
a photo
shoulder.
bomb. You're
Right here,
photobombing,
I
right.
was 6 inches away from the girl I was going to marry.
Yeah, and
That's
that was like
it's such
10
a
years
crazy
before.
story.
or
Yeah,
something.
5 years before I ever met her. It was,
Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't
Nuts.
find the picture until
I was like 2000 something.
no, because it was when I was working for him, wasn't it?
No. He
did
brought
we-
it to camp when he was speaking.
Oh, maybe.
He found it in a shoebox and brought it to camp, and he was like, "Hey, look at this." And she looked at it and she was like, "You have got to be kidding me."
Seriously, that's one of the coolest
It's
stories.
Yeah.
Like,
pretty
like,
crazy.
it makes the hair stand
Yeah.
on end. Like, wow, that's
Yeah.
just like that's so cool.
Well, and truthfully-
there was, and then with the undeniable
Yeah, like
beginning, like new beginning, I
Yeah.
guess, so
Yeah.
to say. It's just I thought it'd be great to let everybody know that.
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So then you get married. You're married. You're now at sounds like you're done at Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah,
or
we
did
got
you get
married when
married
we-
and still have some more time in school?
no, we
No?
were done.
Okay.
We got married after we graduated.
All
We
right,
both
so
graduated.
Then what's the first step out of school? Like where?
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh, what a
Kalamazoo.
great place!
Yeah.
It's funny. Do you know what Kalamazoo
Yeah,
is?
I've been there. I've been there a time or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like I don't know. I was telling somebody earlier. It's weird. Like I didn't meet you guys until I've known you maybe 3-4 years.
Yeah, three
tops?
and a half years. Yeah.
So I didn't know you till I was in my 50s, but we lived in all these same places. You lived in Kalamazoo. I owned a home and spent tons of time in Grand Rapids.
So weird.
And yeah, so I'm much older than you, but that's probably why maybe we didn't didn't cross. But
Yeah.
Right.
you guys were in a lot of the same places
Yep.
that I was. And then of course you dated a guy in my hometown.
So
where
in
I
your
grew
teeny,
up.
teeny, tiny hometown.
Yeah, in the 4-way stop.
Is there a 4-way stop?
There.
I mean, I don't know what's there now. Maybe there's.
No,
a lot,
I
but-
don't. You know what? It's not a 4-way stop.
It's all gravel roads.
It's just a.
A 4-way yield.
There's
Yeah.
There's,
Make sure there's no cars.
I think you had to stop if you were heading east-west.
Yeah, there
But
you
if
go.
you were going north-south through the town, there was
Just
no.
go.
So it was like a 2-way stop on a.
Yeah.
You know.
So
But anyways,
little.
I've forgotten where I was going. Oh, we're going to talk
Kalamazoo.
about Kalamazoo first. Like
Yeah.
your first.
Yep, it was
First church.
an amazing first church experience. We're still good friends with the pastor
What
and his
church was
wife.
it?
Kalamazoo Wesleyan Church
Okay.
on
On
White's
White's
Road.
Road.
Out on White's Road. Okay.
It's now Lighthouse, I think. Lighthouse
Yeah,
Community.
the church is Lighthouse Community Church now.
Yep,
Okay.
they've
And
moved.
it's not on White's
It's not
Road.
on White's Road anymore. But we lived in a parsonage. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's a
Yeah,
a
what's
It's
a
an
house.
old
parsonage?
term.
Yeah, a house that is owned by the church, like right next door, that the pastor would traditionally live in, And so the pastor wasn't living in that home. And so Holly and I were like, heck yeah. Like we just got married. Like,
Yeah.
you know
This
what I mean?
Big,
Like,
huge brick house. Cool.
and it was an old fire station. It used to be the fire station for like that area
Okay.
of Kalamazoo. And it was huge. It must have been
Oh, I don't know.
I've probably been by that
3,000
house
square
100
feet.
times.
like
Yeah.
3,000 square feet.
I wish I could picture it.
Just the
but-
two of
They
us.
tore it down
Did they?
recently.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And it was an amazing first experience. Pastor Danny Janes and Tana Janes are salt of the earth
Oh,
people.
Man, they sure are. They
And
were amazing.
They were so good to us. And then after about a year or 2 years there,
yeah, because Elijah was born there.
yep, we took a position at a larger church in Plymouth, Indiana. and that was a great experience too. I kind of cut my teeth in the preaching world
Yeah.
down there for a couple of years, and that was really good.
Yeah. So what were you like? What was the first? I may have missed it. What was the first? You're doing youth pastor or what?
Oh, good question.
My job title at Kalamazoo Westland was youth, worship, and young adults
Okay,
pastor.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, it was me and him on staff, and
They just did all
we just
the
did all the
things.
things.
Okay.
you know?
Weddings, funerals. I played piano at every wedding, every funeral.
Yeah, it was a
I
fun
worked at a
experience.
school. Like I taught school for the first year before I got pregnant for Elijah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it was awesome. It was really good. Like I have warm fuzzies when I think about it. Like it was just a really
love that.
special
I
time.
love that town. There was something special about it and unique, and
Yeah.
it'll always be in my heart.
Yeah, in
Yeah, it
the
was
wintertime, the
awesome.
snow
Yeah, that was-
in Kalamazoo was always so heavy. It was
Yeah.
right in that snow belt.
Yep.
Yep.
So what year were you? What years were you?
We were there from 97 to 99.
Okay.
Yeah, for just 2
Yeah,
years.
well, I
really
was-
quick.
Well,
Most of our
yeah,
first
I
stuff was
there.
pretty
Megan,
quick.
Actually, Megan was there in school at that time.
Oh, she was,
I had
yeah.
graduated in '96. I was living in Battle Creek at that time,
Oh, gotcha.
but commuting back to Kalamazoo, my roommate was living in Battle Creek and commuting to Jackson. He
Oh,
was,
my word.
so we were
in between.
in between, but yeah, so we would have been around. It's so strange.
That's crazy.
And my sister lived right over there in Millwood.
Oh, right in Millwood.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right by the church.
Yeah, and so it's just spent
That's
a lot of time.
wild.
I'm sure I've been by that house.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I'm trying to picture the houses on White's Road.
I mean,
but,
just like your typical
yeah.
nice brick house. It was beautiful.
So then you go to Plymouth. What are you doing? What are you doing in Plymouth, Indiana?
They kind of hired me to start a third. This was back in the day when like you had like traditional and contemporary services. So you had like
Yeah.
Very different services.
very different services, and they wanted me to start a third service called In Touch, which was like a cool, edgy, service. And so I preached at that service, and my buddy led worship at it, and so we were able to see that service really grow over the 2 years that we were there, and that's where I kind of cut my teeth for teaching, for preaching.
Okay.
But you also led worship for the first two services.
Yeah, I led
so-
worship for the
which were
first two
different.
services.
Right.
Different songs, different. I think about that now, and I'm like,
How'd
why did we do
How'd we
that?
do that? Why'd we do that?
How
What
did
a
we do
mighty
that?
God we serve.
I mean, I
Was it
don't
like the
want
old
to.
hymn,
No.
like the hymnal, like turn to page?
The first
Yeah.
traditional
Yeah.
service was
Yeah.
it was me and an organist. Like we sat next to each other. I played the piano, she played the organ, and it was just like what you would picture.
Yeah.
Hymn book. We sang 4 hymns, and then we would do the contemporary service, which was
like fog machines and laser lights.
well, no, that was In Touch, but the contemporary service was
Back
just
to
like
the cheesy
Oh,
time
so-
period.
oh
was-
my.
It was so
Yeah.
desperate.
But I got pregnant for Emmy when we were there.
Okay.
And had a really, really incredibly hard pregnancy with her.
Yeah, I remember from
Really
earlier
difficult.
listening to some of your sermons over the last couple of days. You were in bed.
Yeah, I was on bed
With-
rest from
Yeah.
Thanksgiving till when she was born in March. So yeah, that was no fun.
Yeah,
it
and then
just
that
really
scary,
stunk.
and then the scary story of
got
she has RSV
yeah.
and can hardly breathe. Has to be airlifted.
Ugh.
Yeah, she
She was very ill.
had to be shaken to keep her breathing in the ER in Rochester, Indiana, and
Yeah.
the life flight helicopter came from Indianapolis and landed and picked her up and took her to Indy because they weren't convinced she was going to make it.
She was just
And
she'd been
so
born early anyways, so she was only 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
And she was just really sick.
Right.
So we had this really kind of difficult, like 9-10 months,
yeah,
and it drained our finances. I mean, like, it was really scary. Like, we just didn't have the ability.
we
to-
didn't have really good insurance.
and we weren't
that
making a
time
ton of money.
either.
And I wasn't
Yeah.
working because I was on bed rest. So
So we at that time we got a call from a church up in Grand Haven, Michigan, to come and be their
Beautiful
worship
town.
leader.
So beautiful.
Gorgeous town. And so we went and worked there for 5 years. And that was a good kind of reset. And that was kind of like the launching pad for us planting a church in downtown Grand Rapids.
Yeah. Man, we sure have been around the block. Good
Yeah,
grief.
no, I
You'd
was
think we
like-
were 70 years old.
Yeah. Yep. So we ended up in Grand Rapids to plant a church called Greenhouse Church in
Well, we started in 2004.
planning for it. January 1st, 2005, we kind of started thinking about moving there. And
Yeah.
then August 1st, 2005 was the start day, the official start day of Greenhouse Church, day one of the church plant. And we were so excited. We were there with her sister and her husband, who was also like my best friend from college. So my best friend from college and I married sisters.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to be planting this church together.
Okay.
And we were actually in Ohio singing at a church camp,
Raising money for the
raising
church
money
plant.
for the church plant. And we were on our way home, and we stopped at my parents, and we got a phone call that our niece had died in a horrible like house accident.
Yeah,
And-
you'd, like
Yeah.
a fan or something
A
had
fan
fallen.
fallen or-
on
Yeah,
her.
yeah. And so, I mean, that throws your life completely upside down when something like that happens. And we drove home and we tried to be a support, and we worked through that as a family. But if I'm being completely honest and transparent, like that event is where like the definite foundations of addiction kind of started in my life, because it's like you can't get through. You felt like you couldn't get through without medicating somehow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
And we were
that was
young.
we were young
We
and
were still
immature.
young. And we had 3 little kids. And then all of a sudden, my sister and her husband went from having 3 kids to 2 kids.
Yeah.
And we really were very unacquainted with what is trauma. We had lived somewhat charmed lives up till that point. So, I mean, not to say that we all didn't get some therapy and all that, but we just were not equipped to do that, and at the same time try to start an inner city church off the ground
Yeah.
while we're dealing with all
Well,
that.
yeah. While you're dealing with the loss and the feelings that come with that, plus you're starting this church, which it's got to be super stressful.
Oh.
Like you got to rate. It's all.
Yeah.
It's all on
It's
them.
all on you guys.
Right.
You and
And
your
a
best
grieving
friend
dad.
and
Yeah.
and the grieving dad and all that. Yeah, that was.
And
That's
it's
so much weight to carry.
It was a lot of weight to carry.
And I think it's important. I think it's important to say, like, the truth of like what it is. Like, the church plant was such a catastrophic failure. I mean,
There were moments where it wasn't, but as a whole,
yeah,
Yeah.
like I failed so miserably. I failed people so miserably.
Yeah, so you're carrying that weight too.
Yeah.
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 And
Because you feel responsibility.
yeah.
Ooh.
And it, what I should have done at the beginning of that is say, we're not doing this church plant.
we got to find jobs or something.
We're going to do something else. We are not equipped emotionally to be doing this right now. The people that we were serving, a lot of them were from drug backgrounds and homelessness, and I mean, like they
Or
were
just lots
major,
of hard situations.
Yeah, and I didn't have the capital.
Yeah.
So you're trying to make spiritual decisions and you're not equipped to do it.
Yep.
So that 5 years was really, really difficult and traumatic in a lot of ways. We really drifted apart during those 5 years. And it finally got to a point where we couldn't pay the bills. I mean, it was just,
Well, and in the middle of all that, there was more. My brother-in-law, the grieving dad,
Right.
broke his neck on a trip to the Caribbean. And because he was a fully quadriplegic, he couldn't get into the church anymore. So now we really only have one pastor
Right.
who's trying to shepherd these people who are all traumatized, like their pastor's baby has died. Now their pastor can't come into the church because he's a quadriplegic. And we were all going back and forth from Florida, where he was recovering, and then to Michigan. I mean, our lives were like,
Chaos, complete and total
wow.
chaos.
just chaotic.
And so that 5 years was where addiction really kind of
Yeah.
got its claws
got a
in
hold
me.
of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end of that 5 years, I got a job offer from a enormous church in the DC area called McLean Bible Church, which was an amazing church. And it was a fabulous place to live and work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were some really, really good years there.
Very good years. Our kids all grew up there. So we were there for 7.5-ish.
Yeah.
At a long time.
Yeah.
So our kids
Our
went
kids are
from-
Virginian.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they
That's-
grew
that's-
up in Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They spent all of their formative years growing up on a little farm, basically, outside of Leesburg, Virginia. It was very, what's the word? Not romantic.
Idyllic?
Idyllic, thank
Yeah.
you.
I mean,
it
it
was
sounds
very
like it's
idyllic.
like
The stone
rolling
walls,
hills and
Oh,
stone walls
gosh.
with white picket
Yeah.
fence or whatever. Yeah, just
mountain
houses that were built in the
views and
1600s. The 1600s,
It
you know,
was
like
beautiful.
it was unbelievable. And so we really loved that. But
We had so
I don't
many
know.
good relationships
yeah,
there.
like everything else in our life. What is the difference between perennials and annuals? Which one
an
is
annual? Oh shoot, I'm going to get it wrong.
I think the annuals come back year after year
Yeah,
after
and a
year.
perennial
A
does.
perennial,
They come back-
you have to
Yeah.
You have to replant.
continue. But
I'm going to
I'm not
trust
sure.
It
you.
might be opposite.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're probably right. You're right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Jason, I thought you were good
Annual.
with
Somebody
look it up.
trees.
Yeah.
I thought you knew how to like
He knows
identify
trees, not
trees and
plants.
Yeah.
leaves and okay.
No.
So, you know, like it's wild how at the beginning of every spring, how you come out and it's almost like you forget that you planted those things.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then you see the green sprouts coming up
Yeah.
through the
I
rocks.
planted hosta there last
And
year.
you're like,
yeah.
oh yeah, those are going to grow. And then within 6 weeks, they're full blown, you know, plants. And you're like, wow, that's amazing. That's the way it is with undealt with trauma.
Oh, that's actually a
That's
really
just-
good way to
It
describe
looks like it's gone. You know, like you tore down the branches and you cut it to the ground and it's
Yeah.
gone. But then the second something gets difficult or something gets hard or whatever, you look and all of a sudden there's a little bud there and you think, well, it's just small. It's not, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then within a couple of months and a couple of years, it's a full grown tree, you know, full grown bush, a full grown
Yeah.
plant,
Yeah.
a fully bloomed flower, whatever you want to say about
Right,
it.
and it's an obstacle. It's in your
Oh,
way.
it
Yes.
And it's in
certainly
your
was.
eyes. Like
yes,
you can't see around
you can't
it.
see anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's like that kind of that traumatic experience really caught up with me our last couple of years at
Yeah, our last year there was,
at
was weird.
in Virginia. I just forgot
Yeah.
where we were in Virginia. And
We're 50.
it just completely took over my life.
Yeah.
And instead of dealing with it, I said, why don't we move back to Grand Rapids, you know?
Well, and I do think it was 100% a God thing because at the same time, the church was going through kind of a restructuring. You know, they were really staff heavy for a while, and they basically just said, hey, we need to, you know, cut our staff budget, so we're going to offer a buyout to
yeah.
however many people. I don't remember. And he came home one day and just literally just kind of dropped a bomb, and he was like, I think I'm going to take the buyout. And I can remember saying, I'm sorry, huh? What? We got a
You
kid.
didn't consult me on this?
Like,
yeah.
Elijah's going into a senior of high school. What are you talking about? Not really
wasn't
knowing
thinking.
what was happening. But
Yeah.
to him, it was kind of a
It's
get out of jail
free
right,
card.
and you're
Yeah.
and maybe you're thinking this is a reset,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah,
Because if you run from trauma and addiction,
That'll
Right.
help.
it's healing. It's
No,
therapeutic.
it's really not.
Just run away. It won't follow you.
But that mindset is,
But I
hey,
left it. It's back there.
Right.
Right.
It's back there. I'm fine.
I'm glad we can laugh about it
Totally
now.
fine.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
There was a long time
hindsight
we could not
is
laugh
wonderful.
about it.
Yeah.
But no, I get the
Yeah.
whole mindset. Like I need a change of scenery, or going
Yes.
back here, I'll be like it used to be.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Or,
The pressure of Northern Virginia, I think too, it's very much like pressure cooker land. And truthfully, we were both a little bit struggling in that area. I was selling real estate and doing very well, but feeling
oh yeah.
that pressure all the time, like
There's-
do more, make more, do more,
Right.
make more.
There's
And
got to be more to this life.
yeah,
Like,
and it
you
just
know, like
started
you're
to
thinking,
feel, ugh. And I was a little bit too, kind of craving. I miss simplicity, I miss Midwest life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we spent probably 9 months talking about it. It wasn't a quick decision. And then we moved back to Michigan with what felt like we were in a great financial place, because we sold our home in Northern Virginia for gobs
Yeah.
of money.
Much more than you paid for it.
Yeah.
Way
I mean,
more.
that was the time too of the
Oh, yeah.
run up, and then yeah.
We were doing well financially.
oh,
then
and
it just
oh,
went
how things,
over the cliff.
yeah, changed. Like I had started a business called, it was like a reclaimed wood business,
Okay.
salvaging antique and historical
Yeah.
stuff, and I was selling that wood, and I was building coffee tables and tables, and I love doing that. Maybe one day I'll get back into it.
Yeah.
But like right now, the smell of sawdust
Oh,
triggers, it's wild, and it's been 8 years, and it just triggers me.
Takes
It
you
just
back.
yes.
Yeah. Well, it's
not a good thing.
right.
It was kind of during that season where all of my addictions just became all consuming, and I had started working at another church in Grand Haven. I worked there for 7 weeks, and they fired me. So 8.5 years
That was
ago, that was
bad.
8.5 years ago, they fired me, and the truth of kind of where I was emotionally and spiritually and physically began to kind of trickle out.
Yeah.
And
no hiding it anymore.
no,
Yeah.
and
No.
that church, bless their hearts,
They were very
we would
good to
not
us.
be here. We would not be here if that church had not stepped in and said, "You're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, pack a bag. You're going to Minnetrista, Minnesota."
Yeah. So it wasn't, thank God for his grace and his mercy that they're there to tell you got to go here. Like, it wasn't just like, Jason, this isn't working out. You got to
No.
No,
leave.
no,
Like,
we're going to
Right.
We're going to help you get better.
Yeah, they very much carried us through a really horrible time.
Yeah.
We had worked, when we first moved to Grand Haven from Indiana and worked at the church, it was kind of an offshoot of that church. So it was all people we had known
All right.
since the kids were very little. So there was strong ties to
Yeah.
they loved our children, there
and
was.
we got to we
yeah,
gotta
they
take care
weren't
of
just
them.
going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, bye, see you
Right.
later.
Like, oh,
No.
Yeah.
it wasn't like we
But-
made the wrong hire. Like,
Right. Well, they
so it-
definitely. I can remember the pastor coming to me probably that week.
They called me Hurricane Jason.
Yeah, because some hurricane was going through down
Oh,
here at that time,
yeah,
and he was
imagine
like,
that.
he kept calling him Hurricane Jason. I'm like, seems appropriate.
Yeah.
But he said to me, it didn't take. He said, pretty initially, he said, I knew something was wrong. He said maybe a week into him being in the office, he was like, what is happening? Like, he had worked with Jason and knew Jason for
So he- previously,
a
yeah.
long time, and then saw what was going on and was, I think, pretty certain right away that
Yeah.
there was something nefarious.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
things are not good here.
So, by the grace of God and their their good sense to send you there. You
Yes.
go to Redemption House.
Yeah.
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 Yep. For like
Old John Leonard. Hi, John
115
Leonard.
115 days. That's a long time.
It
Old
is.
Justin Lockamacher.
What a name. What a good dude.
Lockamacher.
Say that 5 times.
I don't know. I've got him in my phone as Lockamacher.
We could never say
Sounds
his
Hawaiian.
Yeah.
name. I don't know what it is, but he's a great guy.
And Holly, share how the family of faith, when I left, how they surrounded you
Oh, geez.
and just
Well, again, like we had been through trauma before, but I had never, I grew up in kind of like your white picket fence family, and so did he, like back to generations. We didn't really, at least I didn't, have any experience understanding for what addiction is and what it does to a family and how are you supposed to handle it, you
Right.
know? So I was really coming into it with no tools. And thankfully, our church had a pretty strong counseling department. And within, probably by the next Monday, so 5 days-ish, they had our whole family, like me and all 3 kids, sitting down and just letting us talk and giving us steps like, okay, here's likely what's happening. Here's how this is going to make you feel. How can we
Okay.
help you? There really aren't enough good things to say about, we would have just floundered. And they were just always there with therapy, support, help.
Yeah,
It was just
they
a-
gave you some of the tools to
They
be able
really
to
did, yeah.
get through it.
Well, and and helped him get into rehab, which even that I was like, I said initially, like, I think he needs to go to rehab. I'm not sure why. At that point, I didn't really know what was going on. And I'm like, where is there a place like that?
Right.
But they had all the
Yeah.
tools. They were very well equipped to handle our situation. Praise God.
yeah.
Seriously, praise God.
And 500 miles away, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in this lodge-looking house in the middle of the reeds in Minnetrista, Minnesota, which is right near Lake Minnetonka, like beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
really pretty.
And I am losing my mind.
Oof.
I did not want to be there. And somehow, by the grace of God, I stayed. And about a week into it, I don't know how to describe this any other way than to say that God met with me.
Yeah.
I have never in my life felt the tangible, physical presence of the Holy Spirit flood into my life in the moment than I did on that Friday, 5 days after I got there. And it followed radical confession and repentance, which is something to really think about. Like once I had really just poured out, my heart, God met with me. And I remember saying to myself, I'm going to, Lord, am I going to lose my family? And I remember him responding, you might. You might. Am I going to lose my kids? You might.
Yeah, there could be hefty consequences.
Yeah. But I also heard him say, but you will not lose me. Like that. That's when I fell in love with the Lord in a way that I never had before. John MacArthur calls that lordship salvation. I don't know if I agree with that theology or not, but
Desperate need.
it's the moment where Jesus, really becomes Lord in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I felt a ginormous sense of peace come over me, and I came to the recognition that I can't love my wife and I can't love my kids in a way that is beneficial to them unless I love him more. And if I love him more, then I'm going to be able to love them the way that I should love them and the way they want to be loved, you know? And I'd never gotten that connection point. And, a quote that kind of jumped in my radar kind of during that season with stuff that I was reading is, you're not a failure until you start blaming someone else.
Oof.
You know, failing does not make you a failure until you start blaming other people.
Yeah.
And
You had done
you
that.
can learn. You can always learn. You can always get back up. You know what I mean? You can. And that's the beauty of the gospel, and that's the beauty of grace. And so up until that point, I had blamed everybody.
Right.
And so I finally took responsibility for my actions. And we just started, she was growing over here in Michigan. I was growing over here in Minnesota. And we didn't talk for 60 days almost.
That was a long time.
A long time.
No, it was 30 days.
Well, I mean, like about.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we hadn't communicated really.
Right.
It's for 60 days.
We wrote letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
That was, yeah.
I liked
It
that.
was old school.
I really liked it.
The letters were delivered by the Pony Express.
Oh, man.
So, near Thanksgiving, we started really talking. And it was just obvious God was just moving in her and moving in me. And so she came out to see me. She drove out to Minnesota. And, man, she looked amazing. She was so beautiful. I'm not kidding. Like, she got out of the van after being in a house with like 22 stinky addict men.
Yeah.
When she got out of the van and started walking towards me, all the guys looked at me and they were like, how?
You're right.
How did you put what? Like, how? Like, it's
You
not
married,
possible.
You married up, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we spent that weekend together and it was awesome. And I was home on December 9th and we began growing, rebuilding. And I spent about the next 6 years working at a trucking company as a janitor and buildings and grounds manager guy.
Yeah.
And it was the hardest work I've ever done in my life. And I just remember thinking after the first month, this is going to kill me. Like I might die in this oil pit. And the Lord was like, just do it like you're working out. Just think of it as like you're working out. And think of it as like you're worshiping me. Like do your work as unto the Lord. And so that's what I started doing. And I finally just decided I'm going to be the greatest building manager, greatest janitor the world has freaking ever seen, man. You remember that? Like I came home and told her that and she was like, do it, baby.
Come on.
So I did. I jumped in and
it was a great job.
It was amazing. I'm still great friends with the CEO.
It was a great story. It's one I was listening to. I don't remember which sermon it was, but I was listening to that sermon today where you're talking about it and doing the work for God, like doing it for God.
Yeah.
And just so so at that point now you're starting to grow. You're working things out, and I love this part of the in that message you said you weren't sure if you were ever going to be able to be back into ministry at that point.
No idea. Yeah.
And you were like, and you surrendered. I thought that you were like, well, if that's what this is, then I'll work here for the Lord. But where I kind of want you to go with that is, you know what then started to happen. Yeah. So what happened?
It started happening in Holly before me.
Oh yeah.
The Holy Spirit was working in her heart way before mine, and it always has. She is in tune with the Holy Spirit and share that, just what God was telling you about me and ministry. And
Well, I'm trying to think at what point this is. It's actually probably,
about a year before we came here.
yeah, that's what I was going
Yeah.
to say. So maybe about 5 years in. We, at that point, were kind of just working and helping out at a really small, really inner city church in Muskegon. And partly because there wasn't a lot of help, and partly because they had a lot of faith in us, we really just kind of stepped in. Like, they needed help leading worship. They needed an elder. Like, we just kind of like slowly started, doing vocational ministry, really.
Right. And Jason, you said this in that sermon, guys started coming to you at the trucking company.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like during
Oh,
this
my
time
word,
and
yes.
started asking you about faith or questions about this. So you're
I became.
not
That's a
in
good
ministry,
point.
but you're starting to.
They asked me to pray at every function. Like I
Yeah.
became the de facto pastor
Yeah.
at
And I
a
think
trucking
it's
company,
great.
which is pretty wild.
I
Yeah.
love that, listening to it, because it was like, to me, in my thought process anyways, is God giving you that next little bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you manage that well.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
You manage that well.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the chance you had
That's
at the church.
so true.
I thought that was a great sermon, and I love that redemption of the job.
Yeah.
Like that story. I think that trucking company. That's great.
Yeah.
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 And that's absolutely true. Like, kind of in all aspects of our life, we were just kind of stepping back into,
Leadership.
leadership,
Like,
helping
yeah,
people,
helping
I guess,
people.
Yep.
Yep.
And I really don't know if I was the one I really don't remember, but at some point, the conversation was, I think God is like saying
You're being called
pretty
back in.
clearly,
Right.
this is what we're supposed to do. But it was also really freaky because we kind of have a little bit of a comfortable thing going, right? Like, he has a pretty decent job.
Because it had been years at this
Yeah,
point,
like-
right?
Yeah, and I
He'd
just
been there a
kept
long
getting. They just kept
time.
promoting me, and they kept.
He got good
giving-
raises.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was a very sure thing. And I was doing well selling real estate again, and the kids are all settled, But then Zeke graduated from high school, and we had no kids in the house. So I think that was a little bit of a stepping point, too, where we were like,
It's a turning
wow.
point, or like a changing point in your life.
Yeah.
For sure.
Time
So
to set sail.
what are we going to do?
Yeah, you don't remember this.
I guess I don't. Remind me.
Well, it was in the middle of winter,
Okay.
and
I said
it
I
was
wanted to go to
about
Florida.
9 below zero.
Oh, I remember
gosh,
those
please.
days.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the slush from before, when the cold front had frozen, and we were laying in bed, and
Yeah.
you said, "Do you have any desire to go back into church work?" And I was like, "Do you have any desire for me to go back into church work?" And she was like, "If it was in Florida, yes."
What? I
Yeah,
do not remember
yeah.
this.
And I said, "Do you want me to start looking online?" She was like, "Just take a peek."
Just
She was like,
I could totally
"Can you
hear
totally
you
see
say
her?"
that.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Just take a little
just
peek.
take a
Sounds
peek.
like something I would say.
It sounds
And I was like,
Holly.
"Okay, where do you want me to look?" And she goes, "Anywhere south of Chattanooga." So I literally wasn't allowed to look anywhere north
Like,
of that.
Do they have winter?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a no-go.
No,
that's a hard pass.
And so we sent out resumes, we interviewed, we got job offers from some great churches. I mean, great churches. And I kept saying no. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, they wouldn't be quite right. We'd be like, oh, this would be a good
This would
fit.
be good, but
and then some
something-
weird thing would happen. You'd be like, oh, no, that's not going to work. And
Oh,
so
the
you're like,
Tuscaloosa job was
a great
was
job.
a great
Oh,
fit.
yeah.
yeah.
And I just knew it wasn't. There was something inside of me that said no. And I had sent my resume to Venice, to this church.
Right.
Before the Tuscaloosa job.
And Mike got the job. Pastor Mike got the job that I was interviewing for. And I told the job hunting coach guy, I said, you know what? I'm taking my name off of everything.
We're
I'm going to stay put. They're promoting me. I'm enjoying my job. I'm not hating my job. You know.
Yeah, we just kind of took
we
like
we have our life.
Yeah.
And
he was like, okay. And I was like, but
caveat.
if that Venice Christian Church, if they have a job opening, call me back. I said, I don't care if it's the janitor. I don't care. There's something about that church that I love. And it was Mitch and it was Michelle.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I had watched online.
Yep.
And I just knew. I mean, there was something about him and her that I was like, I get him. Mm-hmm. I'm from Appalachia world a little bit too. My family has roots in that.
Okay.
And I just knew that we would.
Yeah.
I just knew.
Yeah.
I just knew it would be a good fit. And so didn't hear anything for 4 months. And out of the blue, I got a text message from him, and it said Venice ? And I didn't even ask what the job position was. I was like, when do I head south?
When can we
when
get
can
there?
I come interview for it?
Yeah.
And it was the worship position.
Oh, and I proceeded to freak out.
Oh, she lost her mind.
I mean,
Really?
I was in
So
the
I
hot
w-
tub in
Yeah.
the basement, and he got home from work. So I was
in a
always
good
in the
way
hot
or a
tub.
bad way?
Oh, in a great way.
Oh, okay.
Like
All right.
our life, like went from. I mean, we had made this decision. Like, well, you know,
This is what it's gonna be.
We're going to be here for
Yes.
now,
Yep.
unless God changes our mind. You know, and we both had agreed that if we got a call back from here, we would absolutely consider it. But truthfully, it was like a ha-ha funny thing. You know,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
that's
No,
not
we were-
happening. They're not calling us. Like, that's not happening. So I was in the hot tub, and I could hear his feet, bonk, 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 coming down the deck stairs, and he peeks around the. Oh, sorry. And he peeks around the stairs that come under the hot tub, and he goes, "You're not gonna believe this." And truthfully, I was like, "It's probably bad news." Like,
Oh.
it's so awful, but I was like, okay.
Oh, no, what now? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And he's like, that church in Venice has a job opening. What do you think? And I mean, like, literally, I'm actually getting goosebumps.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's great.
I
love it.
flipped out. I like jumped out of the hot tub and screamed and acted like a total fool.
That was Monday, and Thursday I was in a video interview with Mitch
Greg.
and Greg and Marilyn. Like,
Yeah.
it was that fast. Like, it was,
That one I think went much faster.
yeah.
Well, I think
Then
because we'd already
our-
bypassed a lot because you'd already
Yeah.
had some interviews, but
Yeah,
oh
and
my
then
word.
I remembered, and then you came down.
in April, beginning of April.
Yeah, and we had lunch at Daryl's. I remember.
Yeah, we
sitting
did.
in that back room.
And
at
we hung
Daryl's.
out at Mike's house that night, and
Yeah.
yep.
It
Yep.
was
And the rest is history.
magical. I mean, we got in the plane to go home, and I just kept going,
Yeah.
is this real life? Like, I was just pinching myself.
Yeah.
I think, just because we really were ready for the next thing. We were ready to get out of Michigan, but also we had some church trauma. Like, we had some real struggle where I had moments where I was like, sometimes I don't want to go to church,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a hard thing for me. Like, I struggled with guilt about it. I struggled with just all the things that come with doing a little bit of deconstructing, I'm afraid wherever we go, there's going to be some awful thing hiding behind
Yeah.
and coming here, and here we are almost, 3 years later.
Yeah.
And
it's been-
still feeling that same thing. Like
It's still
driving
going.
home on a Sunday being like, I cannot believe that we get
Yeah.
to be at this place. It's such,
Well, I'm so happy that you
gift.
guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been.
It's
been wonderful.
yeah.
there's been moments where, like, in ministry where when I was a worship leader, like, oh, I don't want to go to worship rehearsal tonight. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's,
Sure,
well,
that's
just,
normal.
it's
That's
just
normal.
normal. It's any job. You're like,
Yeah.
I gotta go.
I just want to stay home.
we talked about this just the other night, though. Like, I can honestly say we have not had that. We always are like,
Hey, let's go.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
it's time.
about, like, let's
Yeah.
go worship. Like, let's, You know, so we come down here on Thursday nights and we get to hang out with people that we love and sing, and it's hard and it's challenging, and we go home fulfilled, and
Yeah.
you know, it's a great thing, and it's it challenges us, you know. So
I mean, it's been great having you guys here, and both of you. I think you had said this one time in a sermon. You were like, I loved bringing Holly with me on job interviews because I always knew I was going to get the job.
100%.
It's a
You know,
twofer.
it's a twofer. Yeah. So, but elevating the word, elevating the worship. I think that's a big. I mean, it's a big draw.
Yeah.
That we have good worship.
Oh,
Yeah.
we do. We have so many great people who love to worship.
Like you just
great
this week, you were like, look, you leaned over and you said, look at that, listen to that, and you just listen. You're like, great.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to get next door. I mean, we're hopefully about a year out
Yep.
now.
That's crazy.
And we'll be next door.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what's the next steps.
Yeah, it is so
And-
exciting to think about that.
It is, and I think it's great. I think Jason's got a big heart for ministry. I think that he'll be able to do more and more as we continue to grow as a church,
Yeah.
especially with your history, with addiction, and being able to speak
Yeah.
into people's lives that are experiencing that. And
Yeah.
it'll help them through.
Yeah.
What a blessing that would be to be like those people that helped you.
Yeah,
to
for
be able to
sure.
help others.
Right.
Yeah.
For
yeah,
sure.
to come alongside people like that. Yeah.
For sure.
That's pretty awesome.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Now the next thing is just like, what's for dinner?
Right. Well, we
You know?
we could.
Like, what's for dinner, Todd?
We can go out. No, I think
We'll
I
go
have
back to Daryl's.
definitely go to Daryl's.
Full
Oh,
circle.
you guys just had
Good pitch.
Daryl's last week.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, no, but that's a good pitch for Daryl's.
Yeah.
there you go.
He was very gracious.
So
provided
gracious.
all 500 meals for us. We had so
Oh,
much
my word.
leftovers that we're going to keep it.
Oh, I
For-
had
for
macaroni
next
and
steps.
cheese 2 days this week.
So
Yes.
the freezer's full of pork for next steps luncheon.
Yeah.
In the
That's
near
great.
future.
Yeah.
So anybody
So
out
good.
there, go to Daryl's if you're hungry tonight.
Yes, go to Daryl's.
But
Oh, wow.
I want to thank you guys. I know that it's hard to come in and share some of the stories and share and being open and honest, but thank you for coming in. I really do look forward to what's going to happen. I know that there's some things that are in place now, that just small little changes that we're having
Yeah.
along the way, that I know that you're about to embark on, and I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. So excited to see where we are in another 3 years,
Oh, me too.
another 6 years.
Thanks,
9
brother.
years.
Good.
Thank
We're
you.
not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
Good.
there's that.
Good. We love Venice,
Yeah.
and we don't have to live in that slush that
We all just sighed. Oh.
the slush that freezes back into a heart, and your
And then
car
you
is
trip,
like,
and it's the worst. I don't miss that at all.
Yep. Yep.
yeah. So let's be thankful that we are where we are.
Amen.
And
Yes, thank you,
we're in
Jesus.
this position that we're in here in
Yep.
this church.
Well, and thanks for having us.
Yep, thank you both.
This was great.
I appreciate it.
Right on.